Season 2 of Loki picks up right where the last season left off, with Loki in an alternate timeline where Kang is ruling over TVA and no one recognizes him. Or did it? Either way, our favorite time traveler since Marty McFly is back in all of his glory and his glorious purpose yet to be found. The episode opens with a shot of a statue of Kang the Conqueror with Mobius and the Minutemen in hot pursuit of an agitated Loki, desperately trying to convince them that they know each other. But Loki's efforts to jog Mobius's memory prove futile. Behind them, we see a city that looks a lot like the city Kang built in the Quantum Realm in Ant-Man and the Wasp, the Quantumania. In a daring move, Loki leaps into a mail cart, which honestly, awesome. This is giving me Star Wars of Fifth Element flashbacks, can't really figure it out. If you know which movie this reminds me of, please let me know in the comments. The ride goes exactly as you'd expect, and the car crashes into the lower levels of the Time Variance Authority office. As they crash into the office, the timeline monitor falls to the ground and cracks the floor, which will come into play in a bit. Loki's encounter with Casey, another TVA employee who doesn't remember him, adds to the mystery. An alert for a level 5 intruder sounds and Loki's reality distorts, catapulting him into yet another timeline. He's in the same spot and Casey now miraculously remembers him. He sees the crack on the floor, and this is the moment Loki figures out that he's time slipping and not traveling through different universes, although that should be impossible in TVA quarters. He's finally back in the present, whereas before he was in the past, back when He Who Remains was still openly running TVA and before he erased everyone's memories. Casey leads Loki to Mobius and Hunter B-15 in Chrono Bay 3. However, as Loki's screams fill the air, Casey witnesses his disappearance, leaving us with more questions than answers. Meanwhile, Mobius and B-15 are trying to figure out how to proceed with all the timelines branching and everyone going into the frenzy. B-15 insists on telling everyone the truth about them all being variants stolen from their respective timelines, but Mobius believes that would only worsen the situation at the given moment. After being notified of Loki's reappearance, both of them are summoned to a hearing inside the war room by X5, who seems to be a potential pain in the ass this season. Loki follows them but glitches into the past once again. Here he spots He Who Remains likeness engraved on the room's wall, deepening the intrigue. While B-15 argues for letting the branching timelines be to allow the people within them to just live their lives, Loki listens to recordings of He Who Remains conversing with Ravonna Renslayer, revealing the two were romantically involved, and she was a huge part of him winning the multiversal war. Spicy stuff. However, he glitches back into the present as Judge Gamble orders the TVA to cease its timeline pruning. Loki then takes matters into his own hands by using a time stick to reveal a hidden mural depicting He Who Remains. This revelation confirms Kang's control over the TVA, sending shockwaves through the organization. With the imminent threat of a 1,000,000-man army, General Dox orders Hunter X5 to assemble a team to find Sylvie, as they blame her for starting all of this chaos. Loki provides detailed information about his encounter at the Citadel at the end of time, explaining to Mobius that Kang actually might have been right and that the TVA is a necessary evil. He points at the mural depicting multiple Kang the Conquerors fighting each other and says that with branched timelines, multiversal war is bound to happen again, killing way more people than TVA. But as he's trying to continue discussing this dilemma, he starts time slipping again, leaving Mobius perplexed about his sudden appearances. Also, can we point out how chilling it is to see that He Who Remains really scared the crap out of Loki with the Kang War stuff? Don't forget, this is our 2012 cocky Loki. I mean, at least it was before season 1 happened. Anyways, the revelation that there are pasts and futures within the TVA, an organization supposedly locked outside of space and time, adds to the complexity, prompting Mobius to take him to Repairs and Advancement. Inside Repairs and Advancement, Mobius reunites with Ouroboros, nicknamed OB, whom he hasn't seen in about 400 years. If that name sounds familiar to you, that's because Ouroboros is an ancient symbol depicting a serpent or dragon eating its own tail, usually representing an eternal cyclic renewal or a cycle of life, death, and rebirth. You get it. In Norse mythology, the Ouroboros appears as the serpent, I'm gonna butcher this, Jormungandr, one of the 3 children of Loki and Angrboda, which grew so large that it could encircle the world and grasp its tail in its teeth. Could Obi be Loki's son? Will the MCU take from Norse mythology, or was this just an Easter egg? You let me know. But either way, it does seem like Obi is going to be a key character this season, since his memory clearly hasn't been wiped. From Mobius' reaction, you can tell he doesn't really remember him, which makes me think that might not be just a one-time joke, but maybe a foreshadowing or time-slipping Mobius. But maybe I'm reading too far into this, you let me know. Either way, Loki's time slips prompt Mobius to seek a solution for this time-slipping phenomenon deemed impossible within the TVA. In one of the best and funniest time-traveling scenes ever written, present and past Ouroboros provide Loki and Mobius with instructions on how to fix Loki's condition. As Loki is speaking to Obi in the past, Obi in the present gets those memories in real time, which is not how time traveling was established in the MCU back in Endgame. But as we know, TVA exists outside of time and space. He who remains is dead. Loki was sent to the past via Kang's time pad, so this isn't your typical situation. This past/future back and forth ends up leading to a risky plan involving the temporal aura extractor. President OB warns Mobius that this plan could lead to him getting his skin peeled off, which is something I want to do to myself anytime someone plays Mobius in Marvel. But let's hope this is just a joke and not foreshadowing. Let's leave the skin peeling, dick exploding, and everything else gory to the boys and Gen V. At the same time in the past, Obi explains to Loki he'll have to prune himself, tearing himself from every point in time and space, which should release him from the time slipping, but only if the extractor pulls him back to the present. If not, he might suffer the same fate as the smartest man alive in the multiverse of madness. Loki's return to the present reveals constant power surges affecting the TVA, leading to concerns about the temporal loom's overload due to branching timelines. Before they head out, we can see a lamp flashing, almost like someone's trying to communicate using Morse code from another time. Cooper? Wrong number, buddy. Ouroboros warns of potential disaster as they consider the dire consequences of pruning extra branches, which could result in numerous deaths. As they arrive in front of the door leading to Temporal Loom's chamber, we can see the spaghettification warning written on the floor as well. Who in the MCU headquarters has a human pasta kink? I need to know. Another thing about this blast door is that it really resembles an entrance to Cerebro by Charles Xavier. Has Kang seen and been inspired by Cerebro's design? Is it just an Easter egg? Are the X-Men finally coming? Probably not, but hey, let me have my copium here and there. Deadpool 3 is coming soon, and we know we'll see the Fox Universe variants of X-Men there, so who knows? With Time Loom going ham from all the new branches, they don't have much time. Ouroboros suggests launching the Temporal Aura Extractor inside the Temporal Loom's chamber before the blast doors close, safeguarding the TVA office. Loki must prune himself within moments of the timer turning green. In a race against time, Loki time slips once again. He looks around and finds skin? Mobius wrote just a few moments ago, so this time he slipped to the future? With losing the previous time stick, he has had to find another one and faces the urgency of the situation. As he's looking for one, we see a branch monitor. In the future, it looks like all the timelines are re-emerging into a single timeline, making me believe that the single timeline we see coming out is going to be Battle World. Meanwhile, Mobius is getting all suited up and ready to go to the time loom, and at the same time, Hunter D90 warns B-15 that General Dox is going after Sylvie. In a tense moment, Loki fails to prune himself as the timer turns green. Obi starts to shut the gate and Mobius heads back. Meanwhile, Loki follows the sound of a ringing telephone down a hallway. Unexpectedly, Sylvie emerges from a door and Loki is pruned abruptly. Now, we've only seen that Loki was pruned from behind, but we didn't see who did it. If I had to guess, it'd be either future Loki or Mobius if he indeed ends up time slipping. But let me know who you think it was in the comments. As Loki got pruned, he got shot out of Time Loom, hitting Mobius and thus saving them both. With Loki's condition now resolved, they are determined to find Sylvie, setting the stage for the next thrilling chapter. At the same time, D90 and B-15 arrive to see General Dox sending a suspiciously large number of troops to go after Sylvie, making them believe something else might be afoot, and the episode ends. In the post-credits scene, we see Sylvie travel to one of the branch timelines. We see her arriving at Broxton, Oklahoma in the year 1982, just grabbing some McDonald's and trying out this new crazy thing called normal life. This could also be a nod to the comics where Broxton becomes the site of the new Asgard post-Ragnarok. And there you have it, a breakdown of the first episode of season 2. I'm out of breath, and for the love of God, I can't think of an outro. So subscribe, I guess. We'll be making more videos like this every single week. There's actually one on the screen right now, so go ahead and click that. You're gonna like it.